What's up, everyone? This is your Ticket to Reality. I am your host, TJ Zwarish, editor-in-chief of Agents of Fandom.com, joined as always by my fellow agents, Ryan and Emma. And we got our man back. It feels like we haven't seen him for forever. It was only one episode off, but Lee Swift, finalist of season 2 of The Circle on Netflix. How's everybody doing? Lee, I'll start with you. A long time no see, my friend.
I'm so glad to see you guys. I mean, seriously, it's been way too long, but it's been fun and lots of things going on and lots of reality for us to dive into. So I'm excited. I did watch your episode with Sam, the last episode, which was absolutely hysterical. I was laughing, and she brought it. You guys all brought it. It was amazing, amazing.
Sam is wonderful. I love her so much.
Yeah, she insulted me in your absence, so
He did. I was happy about that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Sam brought it like she always does, and that was a really, really fun episode. Make sure you're following Ticket to Reality wherever you get your podcasts. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can find the Ticket to Reality YouTube feed up on the Agents of Fandom page. And make sure you're following all those spots. No live show this week, but we will be back doing that as well. We've got some guests lined up for the near future here from various TV shows, branching out a little bit. Not sticking with our circle guests. We got some new ones coming from some different shows, so make sure you stay tuned. We're recording this on a Tuesday, and this honestly was one of the wildest reality TV days of news that I've heard in a while. I want to start with classic Netflix. Listen, hi Netflix, how you doing? Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Taking another one of our ideas. We love that you're a subscriber. We love that you listen. We would just love every now and then to throw us some of the credit, maybe a paycheck. Don't get me wrong, that'd be great. But just a little bit of a credit, that would be fantastic.
Would be nice.
We've been pining over the need for a queer reality TV dating show, and now we're getting it. The Ultimatum is coming back to Netflix with a queer season exclusively. First thought, hell yes, this is awesome. Second thought, they chose the ultimatum. Oh, this could be messy. Lee, what did you think?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we started talking about this when we started Ticket to Reality. So I thank you, Netflix. You just keep taking our ideas. We're gonna charge you next time, but I'm excited about it. I am like so can't wait. I liked the previews I saw. I think it's going to be fun, messy, exciting. I'm thrilled to be honest, thrilled.
I saw our friend, former guest of the pod, Oliver Twixt, commenting about how he wants to be on this show. It's his time. Get him on there. Ryan, you were busy today with all of this reality TV news, posting from the Agents of Fandom account, from the Ticket to Reality account. Where were your hype levels when you found this out?
I mean, as soon as I saw the trailer, because it premiered during the Love is Blind reunion, I was like, oh. When the Ticket to Reality crew comes to talk about this, they're going to be like mad because, yeah, every episode has been a mention of, we need a queer dating show. We need a queer dating show. Come on, Netflix, give it to us. And then literally in the title, Queer Love, it's like, you can, again, give us the royalties. Just give us a credit, like anything.
Honestly, just tell people, follow the Ticket to Reality podcast.
There
you know
go.
What I mean? Like, just have that in there. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
We've talked about it no less than like 8 times. Probably like 10. I don't know. We talked about it so many times. Just a little, like, throw us a follow, something. We'll be happy with that.
And what were your thoughts when you saw this? Obviously, we're happy that we're getting it. And what are your thoughts on it being the ultimatum as in terms of their reality TV show of choice?
Yeah, I think that's going to be really interesting. I mean, like, you know, we all are very excited to just have a queer show, like a queer reality show. Yeah, I think the fact that it's the ultimatum is interesting because that's probably the most chaotic like love reality show that we've seen on Netflix at least. I kind of would be interested to see a Too Hot to Handle queer like
Ooh.
season. I'm just like kind of cooking that up in my head.
Oh
But
well,
you know what?
Netflix will do it now that you mentioned it.
You heard it here first, and then I bet you later this winter we're going to see something like that. But I think maybe they'll see how this goes, and hopefully it does well because I want there to be more. But I think the ultimatum will be very interesting because it's very chaotic, and I don't know. I just hope that we see some happy queer couples at the end of it because I just always like to see that. But I will be seated and watching it for sure.
My popcorn will be out. I hope they're happy, but my popcorn's going to be out regardless because that's why we're watching these shows. A queer Too Hot to Handle would be pretty interesting. I've always thought a queer Love Island would be pretty interesting as well. And this is my territory, guys. This is my show, Love Island and The Circle. I've always been kind of like my two that are top two, and now we got some Love Island news. They're bringing some former castmates back. They're mixing and matching between Love Island UK, Australia, and USA. Is this going to be on Peacock, Ryan? I can't remember
Yes.
the streaming
Yeah.
service. Peacock, yeah. I'm excited about this one because this show has like wielded some results, not like it has focus on love, it has focus on money as well. There's the competition aspect as well as the dating aspect. I don't think it's dealt us any marriages, but it's dealt us some long-term relationships. And so I'm really, really happy to get back into the villa. I know all of you haven't watched like a ton of Love Island, but maybe dabbled a little bit. You got to be seated for this one, though. I need us to be covering this one every week.
Actually, it's my final push motivation.
I think it should be a main show because
Yeah.
them bringing all these people from all the different. I think this should be one that we're like, okay, this is a Love Island episode because I'm so jazzed about it, and you've built it up. I've watched it, of course, but not hardcore like you, and I'm ready to go hardcore on this one.
When I'm done binging Below Deck, I will start Love Island because I want to talk about Below Deck at some point.
Oh, I love Below Deck.
Perfect. We'll be getting into that one, absolutely. And I'm excited because Ryan touched on Love is Blind earlier, and obviously you two, Ryan and Emma, are our Love is Blind experts. Lee, have you caught up?
Well, I was sitting there Sunday to watch the live reunion. And I was like, this will be wonderful. I can find out about everybody, Kwame, everybody. And yeah, I'm sorry, Netflix. I mean, somebody broke the internet. I guess everybody, all the Love is Blind people wanted to see it, and we broke it. So
I think it was Jackie behind the scenes.
Or maybe some witchcraft. Maybe some witchcraft happened. We had a little of that in this.
The universe did not want us to watch that live.
The Love is Blind hashtag on Twitter was going absolutely crazy, but we'll touch more on that in a little bit. Ryan, what's your familiarity with Love Island? How much have you watched in the past, and are you excited for this upcoming season?
I have watched all of USA, none of the other two versions. So I'm very excited in general because I've heard a lot of craziness happens in the UK and Australia versions. Obviously the premise of the show, of the main show, is like at the end, the couple, one couple gets, or one pair of the couple gets to choose 100,000 or split with their partner. And in USA, that hasn't happened. No one has ever, taken the money for themselves. But apparently in UK or Australia, that has happened. So I'm sure when these worlds collide, there's going to be people who are completely in it for the money, completely in it for the competition and everything like that. So I want to see like how these US Islanders, kind of their dynamic with the UK and Australia people, because I'm sure it'll be a little jarring for some of them.
I can't wait to see some of these cast announcements and who is going to be coming back. Hopefully some familiar faces that I'm fond of. Hopefully a couple that I don't like too much. And I'm assuming there's going to be some situations where some exes happen to be in the same house with each other, a little bit of a Chloe and Mitch situation, just like we saw in Perfect Match, which also has now been renewed for a season 2 on Netflix. This was the kind of third major piece of news today. Ryan, I want to throw it to you. When you were doing your posting for these shows today, did you expect this one to be one of the things coming? And where does it kind of rank on your top 3?
So like you sent it to me, and I was like, whoa, like, and it's not even like on an official net. Well, it was on an account, but like it was on the Circle Netflix saying like, hey, who do you want to see from the Circle come back? And I was like, this is such a weird way to announce like a season 2. Like, because it feels like this show is clearly just catering to people who want to see chaos. It's like, who do you think will be chaotic coming to Perfect Match? And again, that we've talked about how that name just doesn't work for the format of the show and everything like that. I would say in terms of the 3 big news, like Ultimatum and Love Island, like it's at the bottom just until we get some casting news, because it's hard to be excited when like I don't want to see the same people, Bartu, Shane, on Perfect Match season 2. So like,
No more please.
And Chase.
No
Oh god,
Bartu.
yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know who I'm really looking forward to see in the season 2 that would like make this worthwhile. But who knows? Clearly, this new season of Love Is Blind might have some people coming on.
I bet you anything Irina is going to be on it. I feel it in my bones.
Oh, she'd be perfect though. I would love to see her go against like if Francesca or Savannah come on the show again. I would love to see Irina, face them.
My God. I would love Sam to go on there. I really would. I know she wouldn't do it probably because the way she talks, but wouldn't she be great on that show? I mean,
she'd be so phenomenal. It would be phenomenal television, but like we know Sam, right? Sam's not going. Sam would be like going in there to tell it how it is, right? Sam is not going to be taking the shit from any of those guys, and it would be phenomenal television. But let's be real. The perfect match is not the perfect match. We want to see all of our favorite reality TV celebs competing against each other. That'd be great. But like, all these people already know each other. All these people are already at parties with each other.
Of course.
Nobody's meeting anybody new here. It's just a recipe for chaos. And my goodness, I want Sam to host it.
Yes.
Oh,
I want Sam to host it. That's what I want. I don't need, and we'll talk about this more at the end of the Love Is Blind discussion. But I don't think I need more Nick and Vanessa Lachey. Give me some of our phenomenal past contestants to do some of these hostings. Give me Paris as a host for one of these reality TV shows.
Oh, that's
Raven's
a good
interpreter
idea.
from season 5 of The Circle. Give us something like that, because there's been some phenomenal personalities in these shows. Give them a chance to shine. But let's talk about Love Is Blind, because that's kind of the main reason we came here today. I haven't seen it, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to defer to you guys here. I've had my time discussing the news, talking about all these shows I'm so excited for. Let's dive into Love Is Blind. I'm going to give it to Emma to take it away as kind of the main host here. I'll chime in every now and then, but I'm going to leave this up to you guys here. Talk to me about Love Is Blind, Em.
All right, so we kind of, since we last met, we had the wedding episodes before the reunion. So the wedding episodes went actually differently than I expected. I expected there to be much more chaos like there normally is. Only one of the weddings ended up not happening, which absolutely shocked me. I was, but besides like Marshall and all them, but I was really surprised that Kwame and Chelsea got married, honestly. Like the whole time I was like, Kwame is gonna like break this poor girl.
He's gonna
right. No. Like the entire time that's what I was thinking, but they got married. Bliss and Zach got married. Micah and Paul, I'm not surprised that they did not get married, but I don't know. I was thinking that could go either.
What did you think of her dress? Micah's.
You know what? I mean, I liked it. It was very simple, but I did kind of like it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
It's not the best
Didn't
one.
She have the bra straps though in the back?
I
was like,
she needs,
yeah.
She needs better friends, because if her friends are going to sit there laughing at her while she's upset and then letting her walk out down the aisle with her bra strap hanging out, get better friends. That's all I'm saying. What do you guys think?
What were some? Ryan. I'm jumping in. I'm jumping all over you because
I want everyone.
Yeah, no, chaos. This is the chaos episode. It's fine. Yeah, no, Emma, I think you said it best. Like, I think we all went into the pre-wedding episodes and thinking like, this might be the season with the least amount of I do's ever, and yet I think it's the most. To be honest, I think we came out with 3 or 4 couples saying I do, which is like, Season 1 had 2. Season 2 had, I think, 4, but 2 ended in divorces. Season 3 had 2, I think, like Alexa and
it was Alexa and God, I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah,
maybe it was just. Oh no, it was Alexa and then what's her name?
Oh God,
Colleen.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean that one. Even that one was a little. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, like, yeah, I think it was so shocking just to see like how many I do's. You know, for Kwame's episode, at the end of the wedding was like, it was like the cliffhanger of, is he going to say I do or not? And clearly his body language wasn't going to say it, but he just said it. And I think, and this ties into Micah and Paul's exchange where Micah tells Paul like, I'm going to let you go first, even though Paul was asked, or even though Micah was asked first. I feel like if Kwame was given the first choice to say like I do or not, it might have ended up differently. I don't know though.
Wow. Well, he kept saying amazing. He goes amazing, amazing. So I was like, I felt like he was all in to me, So.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's some
upstaging us. Upstaging. I love it.
There's some things that I've been
Obi-Wan
seeing
says, Mom's not home. Dad, you've been doing shows and meetings for hours. I need to join.
Nice.
Yeah.
We always love a special guest. As far as like Micah and Paul, so what's interesting is that I've been seeing a lot of things going around saying like Micah did that kind of as like a almost manipulative type of thing to make herself look like the victim, because Paul was the one to say no. Do we think that that's the case? I kind of think so, just the way that she acted throughout the season. What do you guys think?
I honestly think so as well. Like, I think, like, why, like, you will get humiliated if you're already thinking like he's gonna say no. Yeah. So like, if you truly love this man, why don't you at least confess it in front of your friends and family? So, and then his answer. Like, because I get her reasoning where she's thinking like he's gonna say yes just because I did, and you can unpack that when you do like that. It's not like you can't talk about that like have that conversation throughout your marriage. Like, were you really like I wasn't sure, and she unpacks this during the reunion, saying like all these things like I thought like we just weren't gonna work out. If you were thinking that already at the wedding, then what? Right. Like, why don't you just say it? Like, why don't you just be the one to be the bigger person and just say no, I don't. But it just felt very off, like because that's never happened in any of the previous seasons. So it was a weird thing for her to do.
So here's my confession. I'm going to tell you a confession because people are different, about protecting themselves. So Steven and I, all those many years ago, none of you were born. I blurted out, "I love you," like probably in the first 2 weeks,
Oh.
And he waited 6 frickin' months to say it back. 6 months, not 6 weeks. 6 months.
Oh my!
And so, I get trying to hedge your bet and everything, but I still think you're right, Ryan. Come on. If you really have honest feelings, even with all the doubt that comes doubt comes in relationships, it just does. Go ahead and say it. You don't have to protect yourself so much. Be a little vulnerable. So I'm
Yeah.
for you, Ryan. You called it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I'm complimenting Ryan.
I know. I was like, oh my god, the perfect.
So it's never going to happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather put myself out there because you're already doing that in that setting anyway. Like that's kind of the whole idea. So I'd rather have put myself out there and just let it all on the line. But it surprised me a little bit, but just after and seeing the reunion, seeing them interact, it didn't shock me that they weren't going to last anyway. It just wasn't. It was a recipe for disaster. So the wedding, what I found was interesting about the wedding episode too is that Brett and Tiffany, I was like, okay, they're gonna get married, like I just know it. But then like the editors were like teasing little like that there was something that was gonna happen, and it was literally just that Brett like had his pants, they were too big. I'm like, okay, like what? Which was honestly like that was funny. That whole thing was hilarious.
I love how we're like, okay, there has to be something wrong at their wedding because there's just there just won't be any drama. So, well,
Right.
okay, I'm sure the Netflix people, they had a hand in that designer making sure that Brett's pants were a little big. So we're like,
oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
they were like, we need something because they're perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny how they had to introduce a little bit of drama to make us think that something was going to happen, but you could just see the love for each other. Like they were just, we finally got like another Lauren and Cameron equivalent relationship to me, because they just are like lift each other up. They're mature, not 22. They know what they're doing, and I just absolutely am rooting for them. But do you guys have any more thoughts about the wedding episodes before we dive into the reunion, which is a whole thing?
I mean, I mean, Zach and Bliss, I honestly did not even see that coming through. Like, I really thought like that, I speculated a few weeks back that like, Bliss will have this kind of Zen of moment where, call out Zach, like I was basically a second option to you, I was never your first choice, I was kind of like a rebound kind of thing. But I mean, I think he did kind of win me over near the end there, and especially at the reunion. But yeah, it was just interesting to see like just how many couples really actually said I do at the end. Because again, I had very little faith except in Brett and Tiffany.
Same. Lee, what did you think?
No, I agree. Here I am agreeing with him. I'm really worried about myself. No, I really thought there was going to be one. I really the same one you were thinking, because I saw so many cracks in everybody, and I thought this is not gonna. They're not going to pull the trigger. They're just not. And I really feel good about Love Is Blind, because this season helped me. It brought me back to season 1, where I felt in true love. With the Lauren and Cameron, isn't that right? Is that their names?
Yeah.
It made me feel that again. So I was like, okay, so I'm ready for it again. I'm ready for another Love Is Blind. I really, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to back off on the reunion, because I was going to watch it, and when that came up, I was like, I'm not going to watch it, because I was like, I hung in there for about 30 minutes or what. I was like, I'm out. I'll watch it, and now since it's recorded, I'll watch it sometime. But I just I had
like
more
it probably just should have been.
Yeah,
it's so tough to like I was fully planning on binging everything, and I'm not saying that it's not worth it by any means, but like you look at Game of Thrones as an example, and it's widely considered to be one of the very best television shows of all time, but because the not just like majority, but like the consensus of the public is like, wow, this ended terribly. Kind of similar to how Love Is Blind was like, wow, this reunion episode was just the worst. It kind of does dampen the excitement to be like,
Yeah.
I really want to binge this now, and I really want to get into it when I know it's not going to lead me to a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
I've only
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
clips of the reunion, and uh, Nick and what's her name? They
Vanessa.
seemed a little. They seemed so Vanessa. I'm sorry, Vanessa. They seemed very, very rattled. I mean, they were
They
just. It seemed rattled to them. They were like,
yeah.
"Damn it!"
Yeah, they I mean we can talk about it now, we can talk about it later, but they were very I was not enjoying. I mean, Nick really didn't like say much, but Vanessa, I'm sorry girl, but she totally missed the mark on this. I thought cuz I think their previous seasons they did a pretty decent job, even though I kind of wish they brought the heat a little more for some people last season. But like Vanessa, I don't know if maybe it was she was flustered because of the delay, or I don't know, I think she kind of seemed a little drunk, if I'm being honest, so I don't know what's going on, but it was not good.
Yeah, no, I feel like even though it wasn't live, it felt like this reunion made me really question like how much of their questions in the past have been scripted, rehearsed, edited in a certain way to make them look and sound coherent. Like it just felt a lot of jumbling, and again, it might be the stress of like if this was supposed to be live and everything like that, and in front of a live audience or an audience as well, which that I will say having an
Oh,
audience there is perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I do enjoy that. It's really nice to get those reactions in real time.
Yeah,
And
And
just
I'm
kind of
I'm interested in your perspective on this because, like, obviously I didn't see it, but a lot of the takes that I saw on Twitter was that it seemed as and like reasons why people were very unhappy with Nick and Vanessa in the reunion and ready for Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey in that reunion and ready for some new hosts is because what I heard from others was that there was some strong bias in their questions, and it was clear that
oh,
like we like this person, we don't like this person, and so we're gonna try and create a narrative here, and that doesn't maybe go over quite as well when there's no editing afterwards.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I think the two biggest problems I had with it was really mostly Vanessa, honestly, was that the fact that I mean, to kind of backtrack a little bit, they had Marshall showed up to the reunion, and then Jackie and Josh, who are apparently together, which I honestly didn't need to know that. I don't really care. They brought him. I was like, that's like information I want to forget about them. But they brought him in through FaceTime or Skype or whatever, or they like recorded a Zoom thing, but with them before. So they were asking all these questions about that, and Vanessa kind of just kept going back to like, oh, so like, are you guys happy and this and that? But then like when there was a whole thing that kind of got brought up about Marshall and Jackie having disagreements and saying words and things like that, they kind of brought the heat on Marshall a little bit and then not on Jackie. And I was just like, did we like we watched the show where like Jackie was clearly in the wrong, and I'm not saying
right.
that Marshall's perfect. I'm sure we all say things we don't mean and things like that, but like they were really bringing the heat on Marshall and not Jackie, which was annoying to watch. And then the other thing that very much pissed me off about Vanessa is that she will not let go of the, oh, are we going to get a Love Is Blind baby? Like, it is 2023. Stop asking people when they're going to have kids. It's none of your business. It's not appropriate, especially with, I mean, it's just so like, to me, it's just not, I know it's a cute little, oh, you guys are married and we helped bring this together, blah blah blah. Not everybody wants to have kids. Some people are trying and they
Exactly.
can't. There's just so many things wrong with that I think at this point in society we all need to agree to just not ask people that question.
Amen,
There's no
sister.
reason for it. So that really pissed me off. And then Bartiz showing up, but we can talk about that later.
Oh gosh, he
No, I
shows
mean you
up.
said
I
it
really
best.
don't want to watch it.
Yeah, jump
It,
scare.
the way they framed it too was like we have a surprise guest from a previous season who called in with a question, and people are like, Lauren and Cameron, oh my god, like, yes please, but no, Bartiz with a child saying my son watched this season, my son won't watch my season. I'm like, I don't I don't care. Why? Like, and that makes me think, oh, he's on perfect match season 2 for sure. Like, it's a given now. But I don't know. It
Probably.
just I don't even remember what kind of question he asked. If it was
I
even
think it was about babies.
oh
Oh,
god.
jeez.
Like, I'm pretty certain also, and I was like, you need to, like, I was, or no, I think he literally was like, who do we think is going to be the first couple from this? I'm like,
Oh.
can we literally stop? Like, not only are you on my screen again when I never want to see your face on my screen again, asking about, I'm like, I was so mad that I like sat there and stared at my computer for an hour waiting for this to come on.
Emma wants the Infinity Stone so she can make one person just
Yes.
I'm like,
Sorry,
Yeah, that was-
Bartise. Sorry, that was pretty harsh. But
Don't say sorry to Bartise. That guy
That's
is
true.
the worst. Before I'm on a tight schedule. I got a live show here for Roto Grinders beginning in 20 minutes, and so I want to make sure I get Ryan and Emma your full thoughts on the things we haven't covered from the reunion ep. So like diving into spoilers. Em, you go first. What were kind of like the highlights, the redeeming moments, and then what was it about this episode that just continuously made you shake your head?
So some of the redeeming stuff, I was I was very pleasantly surprised to see that all the couples that got married were still together. As shocked as I was that Kwame and Chelsea got married, they're still together, and this was filmed like I think a year or so ago. And they all seemed really happy. So that was actually really nice to see. At the end of the day, I want to see people in love. Like I want to see the drama, but I want these people to be happy for the most part. And so Brett and Tiffany were happy. They're still married. Zach and Bliss. Honestly, I'm starting to really be sold on Zach and Bliss. Like they were really cute. Their little video montage. I was like, you know what? I'm here for it. I like them together, and
He
I
needs to
really
get rid of
like.
that beard though.
Yeah, that beard needs to go.
And no more singing. God damn. The way that Bliss was looking at him while he was singing, I was like, you really love this man. You clearly do. Like, I have no doubts about it because I don't know why he sang with a southern twang. He never had that this season. And I was like, oh God. Like, anyways, yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I just had to bring that up because
I
the
completely
property
agree.
brother beard just like really grew out there.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. The singing, I was like, we didn't need to bring that back. Like, we're sold on him. Like, you can stop. We're good. They were really cute together. And I like how so the low light was having to see Irina try to explain herself, but I do appreciate that she actually showed up to face all of it, unlike some people. And so, but her statements, I was like, I'm not buying any of this. I also think that Micah was just very much not there for the right reasons. And Paul, like it seemed like there was some vitriol with like Paul, like
Drink.
Yep, we're bringing that back because I'm a longtime Bachelor fan. That's like never out of my head. But I just think like I guess I think it was Zach that called out Micah for being there because she wanted to be famous, and I'm like, you know what, I kind of see it. But I like how Zach stood up for Bliss a lot and like just was very much going against like saying like we're good. So I thought that was a highlight, but Irina's statements didn't do it for me.
It was, and this is where the audience reaction was great because she comes on and she's like, they played the compilation of Micah and her bullying everyone this season, and it cuts to her. It's like, what do you have to say? And she's like, give me a moment. And then it's stuck on her for a good while, and the audience is laughing. Like, it's just like the people laughing, just like they can sense the crocodile tears about to come out. And again, like we know she's like a business owner, so I'm sure she's trying to put on this facade, like I want to do well for my business and stuff like that. But I just couldn't believe like she really did change, and as much as I want her to take in like what she did was wrong, like that. I'm not counting her off on that. It's just like I feel like she just didn't understand like that point, and I wish like Amber came on to because it was Irina was the one laughing at Amber getting heartbroken and everything. It was just it just felt weird, and I wish they dug into that more, because I feel like they could have dug into like the Paul, Micah, Irina love triangle more, but it just kind of cut off at a weird point. Like, I wanted to see Micah and Irina kind of clash, especially when Zach was like, "Oh, Irina told me that Micah was never gonna marry Paul," and we just kind of filtered out of that.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like we should have stuck with that a little bit more, like that, like kind of grill her a little bit, because I think that Micah kind of got away with a lot in a sense, because like there's a lot of little things that came out. I'm just like, can we like dive into that instead of asking when someone's gonna have a baby for the 10,000th time? Like, let's dig into some actually like interesting stuff. I thought that was very interesting. Irina, of course, as soon as she started talking about like for her first segment, just the fake tears, I was like, come on, like just don't. At this point, like, we know it's so fake, we could see right through it. But I thought that was, and I was pleasantly surprised that Kwame and Chelsea, like, I'm kind of more sold on their relationship now, because they seemed completely different than they did on the show. Also, that looks amazing right now.
Yeah.
If you're listening, TJ just brought in, I think that's McDonald's, right?
Yeah, I got some McDonald's with me. I figured while you guys were talking Love is Blind, I got back-to-back shows. I'll just hit the mute button, listen to my friends dive into this show, and have some McDonald's.
Now I really
Not sponsored, by the way. But but if you want to, we're down. I mean,
we would love that. I'm a fan of you guys, McDonald's. I could mess up some of those fries right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, they do have the best fries.
They really do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So back to the Speaking to like Kwame and Chelsea, I think a lot of this this reunion was interesting because of they took a lot of things from the internet. They took a lot of videos and analysis from the internet, and were like, let's talk about this. Obviously, the big one with Paul was the slight touch on the bridesmaid's dress. Him saying, "Oh, that was just an accident. Like, that's just me saying, oop, I'm sorry, I bumped into you." If I'm bumping into someone, whether it's my shoulder or something else that bumps into them, I'm not gonna go all the way at the bottom to be like, "Oh, sorry." I don't know.
I'm not putting my hand down. If anything, I'm just gonna like do the shoulder thing, but I'm not putting my hand all the way down there.
Yeah, and Micah's reaction when that video plays was, I'm like, Vanessa, you're looking at everyone's reactions, and yet that's the one you don't call out and be like, Micah, do you have something to add to that? Did your friend say?
Like, is there context?
Yeah, again, they missed the ball on stuff like that. There was a lot of mentions of posts, Instagram stuff, like, and I was like, can you provide us the receipts? Because I'm like, I'm not gonna go back. I don't care enough about these people to like dig into the drama. Like, if you're gonna, this is what the reunion's for. You're gonna unpack it here. Give us some context, because it's like, oh yeah, there was this thing that was posted. I'm like, what was it?
Can you show it or something like that? Like, at least like give us some context. And I was interesting that they addressed the whole like Barbara being like an actor, that was funny. But like, and then Vanessa didn't even get her name right. I was like, oh, the secondhand embarrassment I had, because I mean, not gonna lie, like I probably would mess up and be nervous, but like, come on now, like it was just hard to watch. But it's just like, honestly, with stuff like that, I don't know, it seemed like it was almost very like gimmicky. Like, she was like, these are like scandalous things that the internet has brought up, we're just gonna like throw it in there. I'm like, this doesn't really, it's just not, it feels like it's out of place. But I think maybe just like dig into it with the couples a little bit more. I don't know, it wasn't, I feel like this reunion could have been an email. They could have just been like, these are the couples that are together. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah,
okay, as our title, Ruben, mark that down. This reunion could have been an email. And don't sell yourself short. You said you'd be nervous out there, but we all saw you interviewing Timothy Oliphant up on the Agents of Fandom YouTube page. You knocked that out of the park. You would handle it perfectly.
Thank you. Maybe I'll get in there and host the next reunion for no reason at all.
Yeah, I know. Right to the top. I mean, better Netflix owes us for the queer love idea, so
yeah, get Ticket to Reality to host and moderate this next reunion, and we will make sure that Bartiz does not pop up on anybody's screen. That we can promise.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about the Ultimatum Queer Love thing? It's like, it's not hosted by the Lachey's anymore. The first season was.
Oh, it's not?
yeah. So we're moving away from the Lachey's. Hopefully, I think after this reunion, they're like Netflix is rethinking their contracts.
It's time to move on from them.
I do want to point one thing out that has nothing to do with reality TV. It's just whenever TJ leaves or is not around, we really do kind of go off the rails. So I'm very glad you're here, TJ. Just so you know, I just wanted to say that. You keep us in line. You keep us kind of all he does is go and get food, and we kind of go a little nuts.
We would have been talking about The Last of Us again at this point.
Hey, even if I haven't seen the shows, it allows me to contribute a little something, something. Honestly, if Nick and Vanessa were hosting the ultimatum, I feel like that would probably piss a lot of people off, because it's like, if it's going to be the queer ultimatum, you better get some queer hosts.
Yeah, come on now.
I want Lee and Steven hosting this show.
Hey, I'm available, but I'm sure it's already done. So.
But honestly, I feel like Paris would be a perfect person to host that one too.
I don't know who it is, but yeah, Paris would be great.
Let me see who the host is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
While Lee is looking that up, if you're listening to us in podcast form, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and a nice little review on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you follow Ticket to Reality on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere else. You can find us on the Agents of Fandom social pages. The YouTube videos are up on the Agents of Fandom YouTube page. And we thank you for tuning in each and every week. We're going to have some more exciting guests coming in the following weeks as well here. Any luck, Lee?
Yeah, Joanna.
I bought you as much time as I could.
Joanna Garcia Swisher.
Okay. Has she done any reality TV gigs? Or
not that I know of. I think she's just the actress, from what was she?
That sounds familiar.
She was like on... What was she on? I don't know. She's a.
Her. Yeah, I always get
Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, and Sweet Magnolias, which has 2 seasons on Netflix. Okay, I always get her confused for Isla Fisher and then Amy Adams. They all look alike.
I could definitely see the resemblance there. Yeah.
That's an interesting choice. That seems really random, but
she's married to a guy. Okay. Miss.
Okay, well then,
that's a miss. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
well, that's true.
Like,
she
come
could
on
be,
now.
but
Nick Swisher is the baseball player. Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, I'm putting it.
You only know that Nick Swisher is a baseball player because of How I Met Your Mother.
You got me.
She tried to play it off. She was like, yeah.
Oh yeah, Nick Swisher, the baseball player.
That's a deep cut reference. I respect that, and you were 100% correct.
New York Yankee. What's the big deal? It's not like he is a Vancouver Canuck. That'll do it for this week of Ticket to Reality. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next week, and we will see you then.